Light Lord and Kodo opening hand means that both of these decks are at least slightly on the slow side. I think Paladin is the deck these days that we are referring to as, you know, being on a spectrum all the way from aggressive up until control, and that there's just all sorts of gaps in the middle, and they all share cards and intersect with each other. But I think Hunter was almost the class that kind of invented that, when there was the scale between Face Hunter, Hybrid Hunter, and pure mid-range Hunter. And the difference between those, you know, sometimes the Lepinomes were intersecting. Sometimes you had what was a mid-range Hunter, but it had Lepinomes as one-drops, but still played Houndmasters and High Mains. So is it a Hybrid Hunter at that point, or was it a mid-range Hunter? It all got a complete mess. And that's basically the spot that we're in now with this Paladin deck, where yeah, sometimes we even see the really aggressive one-drop coming out. You know, the 1-2 being played in a deck that plays Equality and Doomsayers as well.
And that caught people out earlier. That, you know, Malaysia was sure that their 3-4 crab was going to live. The random Equality happened, and off you go.
Yes, yeah, exactly that spot.
So again, Hunter they can both be hard to play against because of that as well. Sometimes even as a caster, you don't know till turn 4 or 5. So the opponents really do have to be on their toes.
McCaw!
Stegonon might be quite handy as a pickup from that McCoy. Fits nicely on curve and everything.
The no-sell, wow.
I'm just going to completely ignore the McCaw.
Savage, all right. So Hunter hitting the one-drop and Paladin not in this case, but since this is a slower deck, it means that there's probably lighter on one-drops than some of the faster ones would be. But again, look, there's a Blessing of Kings in a Rag Light Lord deck. These are not necessarily two cards that you're going to see together. You know, the Tholomenos, or however you're supposed to pronounce that, I apologize for that butchery, who's the first person to really have success with the very aggressive deck that had Blessing of Kings. There was no Rag Light Lord in that deck. So you really do have this kind of mix and match, you know, choose your own adventure Paladin, essentially, as to just which cards you want to put together.
Now, that's fantastic for the game. If people can build decks how they want to build decks to combat whatever they want to combat. Obviously, there'll be strengths and weaknesses in each, but you get to choose which one you want, rather than maybe 2 or 3 years ago where a deck was a deck. And obviously, the Blessing of Kings on Wicker Flame against a Hunter seems like a pretty good thing to be doing if you want to heal yourself for 6 at any point, or 12.
Yep, get a heal when attack guy and put pants on it. Classic tactic in a numerous amount of card games historically, Lorinda. You'll be able to tell me something a little bit more about that.
I can just go, yup.
Yeah.
Telling you more about it is agreeing at this point, but yeah, for sure. It turns out that repeated heal is better than just one-off heal.
Yes. Poisonous, Death Rattle 1/1s, and Wind Fury. So Poisonous enables the clean trade. Death Rattle 2 1/1s and trade is actually a very interesting proposition there as well, because yes, it would allow the 2/1 to trade back into the 3/2, but then you end up with a board state of 2 1/1s instead of 1 3/2. Like, is that better or worse for you? Who knows?
I think that wider is better early, and then you want to narrow it down as you approach those consecration turns. And
wait, something extremely bizarre has happened, right?
Has it? Yes, it has.
Yes, it has. Okay. Hopefully we can get this.
I was just sitting there looking at it going, oh, the Subtle will tell me what's happening in a minute. It'll be fine. It's like, no, it's not fine
I just looked at you for a second and then looked back, and the thing didn't have poison anymore, and the hydrologist was still alive. I had no idea what I was doing with my life. Strange things had happened.
And I've never had any idea what I'm doing in my life. That's how I managed to get here at this age. But, yeah. Well, sure. Why not?
So the Poisonous did kill the Hydrologist.
Yes.
We know that.
Yes.
I imagine we've seen 2-drop into Wicker Flame come down, and there's been a trade taking place potentially with the 3/2 on board. So I imagine we're staring at a Wicker Flame right now. But apart from that, who knows what's going on? Hopefully we can get this main feed fixed for you as soon as possible, because what we are looking at now is significantly in the past as we stand.
Although we have got Navi on screen, so that's something that everybody can rejoice in at this time.
Just entertain yourselves by looking at Navi's beautiful man face. There we go. Got it.
All back to normal.
Not bad. The only my psychic reads didn't account for the fact that an Eaglehorn Bow was going to get drawn to take care of the 2-drop, so the 3/2 is still alive. But apart from that, my call was pretty much on point. Wicker Flame came down to contest, and now Navi is trying to solve that issue in front of him.
Blessing of Kings instantly looked good here, especially with Stampeding Kodo pickup. Is there even another play available? I guess you could go for the Defender, but why wouldn't you just smash this thing out of the sky?
Just such a beautiful trade, right? 6/6 into a 2/6.
And the leftovers are perfect.
Exactly. When you leave yourself with 4 health against the remaining 3/2 is pretty fantastic. But Kill Command is going to come out here and take take care of the 6-4, no problem, so is not going to be repetitive healing. And now the Kodo on curve does not look too promising at all, but the Finger...
the Finger, by the way.
The Finger, by the way.
Not many Murlocs.
Does look like it's going to get there.
It does indeed. There are very, very few Murlocs in this deck that we have seen. So, with it being the Ragnaros and the...
It's true, actually, yeah. It probably isn't playing the big old pile of Cold Light Seers and all that kind of stuff, so it's probably a slightly higher chance of pulling those War Leaders, getting a Finger turn more akin to what we see from the, the somewhat old school, just kind of Finger 5 at this point, where it was just the 4 Murlocs alongside Finger, and you were getting a big tempo swing every time Finger came down. But you see here from Australia, it is definitely a slower build. Strangely, high mains themselves are not necessarily an indicator of a slower build, because they're just great cards to top off your curve. But cards like Infested Wolf certainly are. They are one of the first things to really hit the cutting room floor when you're trying to make space for more 1-drops, more aggressive cards. Leroy, maybe. Infested Wolf is one of the first cards to bite the dust.
Yeah, the Infested Wolf never sits at the top of anything. It's just sitting there. It's a value card to some degree.
Right.
Why would you ever put it in your deck unless you intend to play a slightly longer game? It's going to be interesting to see here what Finger pulls, assuming that it pulls something which it's got to, right?
Does also have the follow-up with the Megasaur, so he's going to get a triple Murloc buff here. And if Bluegills and War Leaders get pulled, all right, there is a War Leader, so it's a very, very impressive-looking board state already, and he has the opportunity now to add to that with the Megasaur. Stealth could be huge amongst anything else. Divine Shield is just fine. Wind Fury and +3 attack if you're feeling ambitious about how many of these are sticking to the board for the next turn.
I think this Divine Shield does look really good. The Hunter's going to have to just proc all its Death Rattles, then do it all again and not die in the process. It won't die, but not take gigantic chunks of damage, which is akin to dying.
It's interesting, though. I mean, with the Noble Sack going down now, the +3 attack or the Wind Fury definitely had a good chance of being a ton of damage on the follow-up, but the difference between protecting, what's this, like 15 damage on board, and, that +9 more is not the world's biggest deal right now. Like, if this board sticks, you're winning the game. So the difference between that and just having Wind Fury or +3 is not going to make the huge amount of difference to the outcome of the game. So just taking Divine Shield and giving yourself maximum chances to it to stick, you might win a bit slower, but you probably win just as often.
Going to see the strength of the Tundra Rhino with these Death Rattle minions. Quite a lot of work is going to get done here. And they're just going to make sure they tread carefully on decide what they want to get rid of. I said earlier you want to get rid of the War Leader, but you want to get rid of Finger, and you want to get rid of 5/4s that kill your Rhino. This is a pretty tough spot for Navi.
It is. Yeah, the War Leader has to go down before either of any of the other Murlocs, just for efficiency purposes. And obviously, the 1/1s want to pop Divine Shields, which was awkward in itself because you had to attack with a 3/3 first before you got access to the 1/1. So this sequencing actually makes a ton of sense to me. Had to send the 3/3 somewhere first to be able to have access to the nice Divine Shield busters with the 1/1s. So sent it into the 5/4 and then just tidied up the rest as best he could.
Sadly hovering over that Hunter's Mark, which is required to be saved for a rainy day, unfortunately, because that would have helped significantly with some of those pops. But everything just didn't work in the right order.
And again, Russia getting rewarded for the lack of ambition, the lack of greed, if you want to put it that way. Didn't just take the big old pile of stats with plus attack or Wind Fury, because that would have been a significantly more efficient board clear at that point. The War Leader would have gone down clean to the first attack of the 3/3, then the 1/1s would have been able to do real work just attacking into the rest of the Murlocs.
And that lack of greed actually just goes into the deck build as well.
Yeah.
There weren't many Murlocs in this deck, but played a Finger anyway because they figured, well, it's so good, we may as well play it with the buffs available.
Yeah.
Whereas just not so all in as many builds that will play Finger. And put them in a fantastic position now with this hand.
Insane board lead and two of the best 8-drops in the game to come down. Tyrion classically has been considered one of the best cards in the game for the longest time. It's just kind of lived and died by the strength of Paladin.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was one of the best cards in the game in one of the worst classes in the game, so came out average. Now Paladin is very strong, so Tyrion is back on the throne, but the fact that a mere epic dragon can even be mentioned in the same sentence as Tyrion just goes to show
how
you
bad you are at Hearthstone.
What?
Obviously, it's really good.
Just goes to show you that Primordial Drake is also just absolutely absurd.
It is a really, really good card, especially as the sort of decks it goes in require exactly that abilities. Tops out the curve and clears the way. A lot of these decks, sometimes, like Tyrion and Drake fulfill this, they have trouble winning the game once they get control of the game.
Yeah.
Traditionally, Paladin was like, just make its dudes and just beat you down with 6 recruits. But now you've got 2 huge threats as well as board clears, and I think the Hunter doesn't know it's going through the motions at this point, but they kind of are.
They sure are.
They know now.
And this is always the time where, okay, I've managed to hang, I'm still in the game come turn 8 against Paladin. I'm not out of this just yet, I've got a high main, oh, they've got one of their 8 drops, I guess I lose. That's essentially the thought process when you come up against a more late game Paladin in this case, because the early game Murloc Tidecaller decks are much more live or die by do they snowball early, whereas this deck is able to just go kind of 50-50 with you throughout the game. Russia have done a little better than that in this position, but then suddenly Tyrion, Rag Lightlord, Primordial Drake, Spike Ridge Steed, Stonehill Defender to just pick up all of those cards again.
Yep.
Just puts you in an insane position.
Need to just tread very carefully here. For all they know, there might be a Call of the Wild in the opposing hand, and the opposing board is quite wide, which can get buffed by the Leox and take a bunch of damage in one turn. They are only on 17, so we'll see Russia take their time here for emergency reasons, but nothing more than that, really.
That's a pretty awful pick. No Tyrion, no Grime Street Protector, no Tarim, not even a Wicker Flame in that spot, which would have been fine with the Spike Ridge in hand. But Russia here, choosing probably between the Spike Ridge and the Consecration. The Conk can definitely do some real work here. You can use the Divine Shield to trade straight into the high main after trading through the Misha and just consecrate the rest of the board away. But they say, you know what? Go ahead and Call of the Wild this, my friend. I'm just setting up lethal for the next turn.
Right, and if the way to kill the Tyrion is to proc it with a Lion, and then it can be consecrated next turn, or just draked anyway. And this will probably be the last turn of this particular game of Hearthstone.
Yeah, Alley Cat, not quite the top deck Australia needed in this spot, but it's hard to imagine any card that was going to get out of this. The early game pressure was just not there, or rather, the clean answers were there from Russia. We did miss a couple of crucial interaction turns in the middle, where the fight for board control was still well underway, but the Eaglehorn Bow from NaviOOT from Australia looked like it might have been able to get a significant amount of work done, but it was met with that huge blessing of King's play on the Wicker Flame, which, yes, was kill commanded down, but it was just too much advantage overall.
Just laughing here, I think that Navi learned his lesson in the Malaysia Major by conceding very slightly too soon in one game against a Leroy that wasn't lethal, and so he's just letting people kill him now.
Style points lethal. He spotted it straight away, hit face, equality'd his board, draked away his Tyrion, Ashbringer to face. He had a much more cleaner and straightforward way to win that game, but Iner is gonna flaunt his stuff on the big stage, show you that he sees these cute lethals. He's